What can I record a video of today? I've already covered most of those. I already covered that one. Yep, done that one. I haven't read that one yet. I've recorded those. This isn't really an anime manga channel. Already recorded that. Wait a second. I've got it. This looks like a job for Superman. Oh. Wrong shirt. Damn production team. Guys, you got me the wrong shirt again. Take two. This looks like a job for Superman. Wait, Florida? Guys, this isn't even a superhero shirt. What the hell? Take three. This looks like a job for Superman. Hopefully that joke pays off. Anyway, folks, we're back. Hopefully you liked the gag. Short, sweet, to the point. But we're back again. So, I know what you're thinking. You haven't reviewed, any superhero shows at all. Even, WandaVision's out and you haven't watched it at all. What the heck? I'll get there. Give me time. And I also haven't reviewed Arrow or, any season of The Flash. Maybe season 1. I watched season 1. I don't think I reviewed it. Stargirl, Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow, Doom Patrol, Titans. There's so many superhero shows. And I've only, reviewed, Daredevil and Jessica Jones. I didn't watch Iron Fist. I've only seen, 4 episodes of Luke Cage. I've seen 1 episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it had Ghost Rider in it. Everything's a mess. But Superman and Lois. Not to be confused with Lois and Clark. Also, don't get confused with Lewis and Clark. So, that's fun. But, there will probably be spoilers in the review. I'm going to do a non-spoilery section. It's quick and to the point. But on the non-spoiler side, I did not really know what to expect, honestly. From the trailers, it looked like it would just be pretty much Lois and Clark. At least, okay, I haven't seen Lois and Clark, but I would assume it would just be them married. And then there were sound bites of Superman saying something about retiring or the world doesn't need Superman or something. That's what it sounded like. So I was thinking he'd retire halfway through, or he'd start retired and then get back in the swing of things. I wasn't sure what to expect. But overall, I'd say it's interesting. Again, I'd say the general rule of thumb I've heard for the CW shows is that they're starting off good and then they eventually just tumble down. I watched season 1 of The Flash, I thought it was good, and then I kind of heard it just goes too soap opera-y or too drama-esque or something. The characters started to fall downhill, which is fair because The Flash has been on for I think 10 years, right? Because it started in 2011. So, I mean, eventually they're going to run out of ideas and stuff. But they don't with comic books for some reason. Weird. But anyway, overall it was pretty good. There were some surprises. There were some Easter eggs I liked. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of room for mystery and improvement. Hopefully they don't Riverdale things. We'll get into that in the spoilery section. But yeah, it was overall pretty good. Just a basic CW show. It was 2 hours long, and they had a little thing in after the first episode to commemorate it. It was Superman and Lois, A Legend of Hope or something. It was a special preview for the next few episodes, the whole season, a rundown. And it had a bunch of creators being oh, this show's great and everything, and Superman means a lot to the world and we need Superman. That was interesting too. because it had, like, you know, Lois, Superman, like the actors, of course. Some other actors I don't know if I can say, because honestly they were a surprise to me, so we're going to save this for the spoiler section. There was Jeff Johns and Jim Lee, and those were the only comic book people involved, and there was, like, some producers that I don't know who they are, but they were on there too. And there was Grant Gustin and, like, Batgirl and Stargirl. And then somebody from Supergirl, I guess. But yeah. Okay, so go watch it. Have fun. And come back when you watch it, and I'll give you the spoilers. Fun. Okay, spoiler section begins now. Okay, so before I mentioned the Legend of Hope, the little, like, 30-minute preview for the rest and the talk with the actors and stuff, that had Jonathan Kent, the actors, and Jordan Kent, which are Lois and Clark's sons, which was interesting because I didn't think they would even appear. I didn't know they were going to be in the show, so they just, it was crazy. So you start the show off with a brief history of the Superman origin, you know, spaceship, Kansas, yada 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 yada. That was interesting. There was a nice callback to the origin. He had the black emblem, and, you know, the underwear and the belt and everything, the whole shebang. And there was, like, a really green car that mimics the original cover of him, like, smashing the car into a rock. So that was kind of cool. It wasn't the exact pose, but it was similar, and the costume was all golden age and stuff. It was pretty cool. But yes, we get the rundown of Kansas and meeting Lois Lane, and then we go into a it's pretty much just a history. It's like, I met Lois Lane, and then I told her who I was, and we got married. We had kids. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a shocker. Didn't expect that to happen. Because from the previews, it looked like it would just be a basic, you know, like, it looked like it would be a basic, you know, like, Lois and Superman story with, like, some villains thrown in. I was generally impressed with the special effects. Because, again, like, when you get stuff like this, it gets, like, kind of crazy, because you're like, they've got a TV budget, and they're gonna make Superman fly and stuff. How's that gonna work? I thought it was generally done pretty well. And granted, I don't have the best eyes, because I have glasses, but, I mean, generally, if I see special effects, I'm like, that looks fine. But then all the comments below that are like, oh, this sucks, this looks like a video game cutscene. I'm like, okay, sorry, okay, yeah, that's cool. But, I mean, generally, I don't really have a problem with special effects. Like, even Black Panther, it took a couple viewings till I, like, really saw some problems. Like, everybody talks about the final fight with T'Challa and the bad guy. I forgot his name. Michael B. Jordan. They always say that looks like a video game cutscene. And it took a few viewings, like, even in the theater, I'm like, that looks fine. And granted, I almost fell asleep a couple times, but it looks fine. And then I watched it later, like, in clips. I'm like, okay, there's some problems. But, generally, special effects are fine. I noticed maybe, like, a little bit on the ice. He has to stop a, like, nuclear power plant from exploding, and he freezes the water. It was a little shaky there, I thought. But generally, it was pretty good. Oh, wait, no, that's a lie. Because there was also the fight towards, like, the, I don't know, middle-ish, end-ish part with the guy in the suit. And some of the, like, background looked really weird and off-putting. Like, the suit and the background were just, like, there was something off about that. But, yeah. Generally, again, the show is good, and there's, like, room for, like, improvement and mystery and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. I really hope they don't Riverdale everything, because the way they talked, like, in the special feature after the airing of the first episode, they made it seem like, oh, there's, like, mystery inside of Smallville, you know, like, it's not a perfect town. It's like, okay, guys, let's calm down. We don't need to make, like, every small town, like, weird and quirky and drug filled, and just to make the show more interesting. Like, calm down. And again, I'm worried because there was like some weird thing with Martha Kent, like getting her farm sold or bought by like Mobius Edge or something. Now, granted, Superman is in my top 3 like most well-known superheroes, at least the ones I know the most about. Not to say I know the most about Superman, but Superman is the hero I know the 3rd most about. Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. I know the most about those 3. Granted, I don't know the most about Superman. I'm sure there are plenty of comics I haven't read, but I don't know really who Mobius Edge is. At least I don't think so. And I don't remember Superman having 2 kids, generally speaking. Like, usually I think he just has 1. And I'm not sure if Jordan's a reference to anything. Maybe Superboy? I'm not sure. After a small amount of Googling, I couldn't find anything on Jordan Kent. But because I know usually like most of the super people are like Jonathan. So I'm not sure. If you want, you can correct me in the comments, because I'm not like super well versed in the Superboy like mythos. But yeah, that kind of, I thought there was probably an Easter egg there. I'm not sure, but I couldn't find anything specifically. But I digress. So Superman has 2 sons, Jonathan and Jordan, and as we know right now, one of them has powers. Surprise, surprise, it's the one with the anxiety. That was not shocking at all. Like, because you have the one son that's good at football, and you're like, oh, he's probably got superpowers, right? But I think it's weird because like they almost like Lois and Clark almost like danced around it, like they weren't sure. But like in the opening scene, like they made a reference to like Clark made a reference to having sons, and then we go to like a scene of a tire swing and somebody like throws like a rocket or something and knocks the tire swing off the rope. So that was weird. Like they almost acted like they didn't know he had powers, and it was weird, but whatever. And of course you're gonna like, because again, there's one guy with football, Jonathan. He's good at football and sports. He's got like a scholarship going on, and then you have Jordan, who's got like anxiety, and he goes to like a doctor. I'm not sure. I think they said he has like ADHD or something. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's like well prescribed or whatever, well described in the show. As far as I know, it's just like problems. But anyway, I was kind of not shocked because, like, it's kind of a stereotype. Like, oh, the one kid with problems is the one with powers. Oh no. But yeah. So Lois and Clark decide to live in Smallville to like keep the house because Martha Kent told him it's time to come home. And also, I was shocked that she died. Again, I'd like to go in chronological order, but it may kind of ramble around in the review. But I was shocked that she just died immediately off the bat. I was like, okay, I mean, whatever. It's like just 2 deaths in like 10 minutes, but whatever. You want to get her out of the show, fine. Yeah, overall, that was kind of weird, but whatever. And then, yeah, but with the Smallville thing, if we go back to Martha Kent and the loan, it just seems weird because like there's just like some underlying like stuff going on there with like Lana Lang and her husband. And again, I'm not sure if these are people either, like her husband and her daughters. And then going back to her husband and daughters, Jonathan and Jordan hang out with like Sophie, and they almost get killed, and then we find out that they survived, of course, because they're Superman's kids. And then they are like, why did we survive? So they go in the basement, the shed, the barn, and they find out they're Superman's, sons. We find out later, because we assume that Jonathan saved Jordan. Ooh, but no, like, Jonathan tried to save Jordan, and then Jordan flips around and took the weight of the metal poles that fall on him. So there's that. And then also Jordan shoots lasers out of his eyes at a party. That part kind of was weird as heck, because like she like Sophie, you get they make the implication that Sophie likes Jordan, and they go to a party together because she invites him, of course. And she's like, "Oh, I've got problems too," and she like goes into like her depression and stuff. And then he like tries to like kiss her, which I guess works in movies, but like if somebody's talking about their depression and like how bad their like dad's life is, like my dad watched somebody build a meth barn and it burned down with both the kids inside, like you usually, I wouldn't at least, want to kiss them when they're talking about their depression. That's not the right time or place, even if you're romantically involved. Like, no. And then we find out that she had a boyfriend, and they get into a confrontation while Superman is in a confrontation, above Earth with a man and a robot that we don't know yet. Well, we find out like kind of at the end. I was assuming it was going to be Brainiac or something, but it's a man in a suit, and he knows Kal-El. He knows, he's Superman, and he's blah 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 blah. Ooh, it's crazy. And then he stabs him with kryptonite, and he almost dies, but he doesn't die because it's the first episode. And then we find out later that it is like Captain Luthor. So, probably be the big bad throughout the show. And it was kind of interesting because, again, that means, so it'll be like a armor-suited Lex for, I'm assuming, most of the battles, at least, unless he, I'm assuming maybe he'll have an organization or a company and be out of the suit. I'm assuming. We'll see. But we'll see how it goes. Again, overall, I'd say the show is pretty good. There's room for improvement. I would say it's more or less the things I wanted to talk about. Again, the fight scenes were fine. I liked the Easter eggs when I could find them. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty much about it. Give it like a B+, room for improvement, but still watchable, pretty good. No super flaws, that made me, want to turn it off or hate it or anything. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely a different story. I don't think I've seen a Superman story where he has 2 kids and he moves to Kansas again. So, yeah, they just up and leave their lives in Metropolis. So, it'll be interesting to see where the show goes. Yeah, so B+. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next review. Peace.